everyone. It is March 16th, 2022. We got a little bit of news for you. Mostly it's stuff about Elden Ring, but there's also some stuff regarding the initiative, which is that quadruple A Microsoft studio, and a handful of other things like China's cock. More on that in just a moment. Yesterday, Google unveiled that the Stadia's business-to-business offering is going to be called Immersive Stream for Games. They're pivoting and trying to make Stadia profitable. The offering, which was created in partnership with Google Cloud, will allow companies to take advantage of Stadia's underlying platform technology and deliver games directly to players. With this offering, Google's branching out by opening up Stadia's streaming technology for other companies to license. Dov Zimring, the head of product over at Stadia, emailed TechCrunch.com, who had this article, and said the Google for Games Developer Summit is designed to support studios of every size with tools and innovations from teams across Google. The core features we're talking about today are benefiting both the development journey and the player experience for Immersive Stream for Games customers, including Stadia. In partnership with Google Cloud, we're working to build out the underlying cloud gaming technology that powers both Stadia and our customers' offerings via Immersive Stream for Games. What a stupid title. A rising tide for cloud gaming lifts Immersive Stream's games for as well as Stadia, and we're excited for what's to come in 2022 and beyond. What are you doing? What are you doing? What a mess. What a fucking mess. Just I guess just let Stadia, I don't know. I guess don't let Stadia die. Maybe that technology is useful for others. Weird stuff. The Video Games Chronicle is covering this story, although there was a lot of Twitter chatter on it yesterday. They're out there stating that half of the core dev team of the Microsoft studio, The Initiative, which Microsoft claimed is the first ever quadruple A studio back in the day, they're also working on the next Perfect Dark, have apparently quit the company in the past year due to frustration over the game's direction and general top-down studio hierarchy. Sources also claim that the participation of Crystal Dynamics in the development of Perfect Dark might have triggered a soft reboot of the project and pushed it further away from release. The initiative's management, on the other hand, is confident in the current team. Speaking with VideoGamesChronicle.com, Darren Gallagher stated, "It's no small task to build a studio and reinvent a beloved franchise. In creating the initiative, we set out to leverage co-development partnerships to achieve our ambitions, and we're really excited about all the progress we're seeing with our relationship with Crystal Dynamics. In this journey, it's not uncommon for there to be staffing changes, especially during a global upheaval. Over the last 2 years, there's plenty more work in front of us to deliver a fantastic Perfect Dark experience to our players. We wish all former colleagues the very best, and I'm confident in the team that we have in place, the new talent joining, and we can't wait to share more with the fans." Okay. All right. There's definitely a conversation, I think, that has started over the past couple of years on Twitter, and it's mostly like, I think a lot of it stems from like PlayStation and Xbox fanatics that love to talk about people leaving studios and how it's like the worst thing in the world. But people leave studios all the time. I don't think there's too much of a story here. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't see that much of a story there. Maybe there is, though. Maybe things do suck. Who could say? We'll never really know. That's just kind of like how game development works from what I've come to understand of it. Being outside the industry and looking in. There is something, though. It's half the team. Maybe there's something going on. Anyways, we got Reggie Fils-Aimé putting out hot takes on Meta's metaverse in an interview recorded with Bloomberg. can either go watch it over at Bloomberg.com or read about it at GameIndustry.biz. We do have some select quotes, though, from Reggie, the former head of Nintendo of America. He says, you have to admit that Facebook itself is not an innovative company. They have either acquired really interesting things, like Oculus, like Instagram, or they have been a fast follower of other people's ideas. That's Facebook. Inherently, they're not an innovative company, other than the very original social platform that was created many years ago. I believe that in order to be innovative, you really need to be thinking about the consumer first, and I don't think they do. I think they're about advertising revenue first because that's 98% of their revenue. That's why I'm much more of a believer in AR. There's a lot of examples of successful AR today. Pokemon Go is AR. Nintendo 3DS has AR capabilities. I think the idea of wearing a light set of visuals, glasses, and using that at different points of your day to interact with a digital experience, I believe, in the end is going to be much more compelling. Yeah, I tend to agree. He does have a slight Nintendo bias in that statement, obviously, with the two Nintendo examples, but getting everyone to wear like a VR headset is a lot. And I don't think we're anywhere near that level, that stage yet. So the idea of the metaverse being this big thing is kind of silly when I think everyone's got a phone and everyone can kind of do AR through your phone. Granted, I guess they can do some form of VR through your phone as well, but it's easier to do this than it is to do this and remove yourself from the physical world. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens as those companies continue to expand. Let's talk about COC. A new draft regulation published by the Cyberspace Administration of China, CAC, is adding more restrictions to online gaming. According to the draft, all online service providers must set up a youth mode for their services, stating clear limits in terms of user time, content, and functions. Specifically, ISPs are required to impose limits on the time minors can spend online, as well as put ceilings on all one-off purchases and accumulative daily spending, according to the draft. The proposed changes come amid ongoing reports of underage users overspending on internet services, ranging from charges billed to their gaming accounts to giving tips to live streaming stars. God damn it, China. The regulation aims to strengthen the responsibility of internet platforms when it comes to, quote, the protection of minors online, according to COC. It's all about control. I mean, that's really all that is. But maybe they do have, maybe some of that is warranted. Maybe some of that is good. People should be making sure that minors don't have access to that stuff in terms of just spending a massive amount of fucking money that, they shouldn't. They don't need to be doing. There's a thin line there, though. It's also China, and China's controlling, and that's how that goes. Moving along, let's talk about Elden Ring. Are you tired of hearing about it yet? Well, that's probably because 12 million of you motherfuckers have bought that goddamn game. 1 million alone in Japan. 12 million units sold worldwide. Jeff Keighley did the math. That's right, he did 12 times 60. $720 million in revenue is what that amounts to. The president and CEO of From Software, Miyazaki, had a quote in their PR statement yesterday. He said, "It's astonishing to see just how many people have been playing Elden Ring. I'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks on behalf of the entire development team. Elden Ring is based on a mythological story written by George R.R. Martin. We hope players enjoy a high level of freedom when adventuring through its vast world, exploring its many secrets, and facing up to its many threats. Thank you for your continued support." It's also worth mentioning that the press release said at the end, quote, "Please look forward to more of Elden Ring as an IP, characters, and other intellectual property in hopes of expanding the realm of games." I don't know what that means. I guess DLC? I guess they could do like an Elden Ring 2 5 years from now, but there's going to be DLC for that game. It's very easy to add DLC to it. You just add like put a new island or some shit that opens up. I'd play it. Hell, 12 million of you would probably play it. It's a fantastic game. It's a little wild though. 12 million units sold. The last time, I mean, that's comparable to like Call of Duty annual sales, which is big, big. It really makes you wonder where From Software goes, 5-10 years out as a game development company. What do their games start to look like? Do they change at all? Do they just keep doing the more? And really, the most important question is how many of those 12 million people are just going to be annoying ass motherfuckers saying that you did it on easy mode with a mimic? Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. That's right. We're talking about it. Remember that game? I did a sponsored stream for that game. It was wild. It was really bad. There's an expansion out called Echoes of the Blood War. Came out today. It introduces the Tiefling Warlock Orala, I guess is how you pronounce that. She's a new playable character ready to join the party, as well as 2 new dungeons to explore. Some of the PR tidbits around that are expand your Dark Alliance experience with Echoes Blood of War, new playable character, new dungeon, the Abandoned Mines, and another dungeon called the Spawn of Yinagu. Yinagu. Let's go with that. He's in the hinterlands. It has to do with some gnolls summoning their demon lord. There's a lot of updates and a ton of fixes. They posted all their fixes over on their steamcommunity.com page for Dark Alliance. Man, what a mess. What a mess that game is. Coming up on March 21st, which will actually be March 20th at 9 p.m. Pacific, another Japanese fighting game publishers roundtable has been announced and will start. Capcom, SNK, Bandai Namco, Arc System Works, and more designers will be joined by Moriji Aoki, who is ahead of the VF5 esports for the first time ever. This is the 3rd roundtable event, and apparently this is a big deal for fighting game fans. Historically, though, they love not talking about rollback, so we'll see if that becomes a thing to discuss at this roundtable event. We'll see if there's any highlights and throw them in the news possibly next week. Tomorrow, along with the Sony State of Play that's happening around the Harry Potter game, Supermassive Games will also be announcing a new horror game called #The Quarry. That's going to be revealed at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, published by 2K, and it's coming this summer. We'll have the trailers for that on trailer time, most likely next Monday/Tuesday. Are you looking forward to EA Play 2022? Well, you can stop because it's canceled. An EA representative shared the following statement with IGN yesterday. They say, quote, "We love EA Play as it's our way of connecting with our players and sharing what's new with all of you. However, this year's things aren't lining up to show you everything on one date. We have exciting things happening at our world-class studios, and this year we'll reveal much more about these projects when the time is right for each of them." What is EA working on? What's the next big, I guess, Dragon Age? Oh, and I guess like a Star Wars game, maybe. Yeah. And the Mass Effect thing. That's right. They're all pretty early in development. Oh yeah, that Jedi Fallen Order 2 is probably a thing. They've got some stuff. That's fine. That's fine. E3 is dead in a lot of ways. So I'm sure they'll piggyback on like a summer game fest or something like that. They don't need to do their own event. A lot of money when you could just use someone else's stage. Tunic came out today. It's on Game Pass if you have it. The review scores look pretty good. Polygon recommends it. Eurogamer calls it essential. Game Informer gave it a 9.75. IGN and GameSpot and Shack News all give it a 9. Easy Allies with an 8. The overall Metacritic score is currently sitting at an 87, with 38 critics reviewing the title. They put out a launch trailer. We watched it in trailer time. It looks good. I have no idea how it plays, but I can say at least it looks good. Game Pass games for mid-March are announced. I'll just read through them real quick. We've got Shredders, The Dungeon of Nahubok, The Amulet of Chaos. Great SEO on that. Tainted Grail Conquest, Zero Escape, the Nonary Games, Norco. Wait, isn't Zero Escape like pretty good? That's a visual novel anime thing, right? F1 2021, Crusader Kings 3, of course, the big game that's coming out on March 29th on Game Pass. Zero Escape is a good game, according to my chat. However, there are a bunch of weeps. They can't be trusted. They're also adding Xbox Touch controls to 9 more games, such as Among Us, Katamari Damacy, Lumines Remastered, Paparazzi, Rubber Bandit, Spelunky 2, Telling Lies, Undungeon, and Young Souls. And our final bit of news for the day, Sony China is doing an interesting program to potentially, hopefully, combat scalpers. They put up a bunch of PS5s for sale on Bilibili, which is the YouTube over in China, the YouTube equivalent, for members with a level 3 plus account. My editor notes that an equivalent for this would be as if PS5s are available to Twitch users with a certain number of channel points. Kind of an interesting route. It does lean into this whole like social score sentiment, though, that I think China's been pushing for a while and exists over there. So, you always got to wonder China's motives on this type of stuff. However, I do think it's a pretty good initiative for people that are trying to grab a PS5 and not get scalped. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe a little controversial. Maybe you guys have stopped trying to get PS5s. I don't know. I don't know what's hip anymore. Anyways, that's going to do it for the news. Thank you guys so much. We're going to go fight more chaos here on the Twitch live stream. Feel free to come on over. We're going to be playing Wednesday and Thursday for more. We're out of here. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of your day.